And we are live. If you are interested in getting a car loan or mortgage, do not buy that car loan or mortgage until you watch this show and get 7 tips on what to do. So I'm DarnaldJr. This is FinLit Live. This is the show where we talk about financial literacy because I know growing up, I don't know about you, but for me, they didn't teach me how money works. And so I stay in my lane. I'm an insurance agent, been doing that for over a decade now. And I know a lot of people, so what I'll do is I'll bring them on the show and I'll ask them my questions and I open up to you. So if you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat for our guest today because we have a really, really exciting topic because this is something I've been wanting to have on the show for a long, long time in the 2 years we've been here. And this is the first time we're talking about this topic. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get lit. All right, so for today, we're bringing on a show, Lana.
Hello,
Hey,
how are
how's it
you?
going?
Good, how are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule. I know things are really crazy right now. How about you go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what are you up to?
My name is Lana Dowden, and I am a senior mortgage loan officer from Jackson Henry Mortgage right now. I do have excessive financial experience. I've been a financial officer over 17 years in the auto business and now in the real estate mortgage business.
Excellent. Yeah, you've been in the industry for a long, long time, so I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of ups and downs. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. And at the same time, with ups and downs with the economy, I've seen ups and downs with people financial abilities to purchase, to finance, refinance, and everything like that.
Absolutely. So before we get into the 7 tips that people need to know before they go out and get a mortgage or a car loan, what's your story? Like, how do you end up getting into the financial space for loans and cars and everything else?
It happened that it's actually in 2005, I believe 2005, 2006. It happened that I opened my own car dealership where I was a financial officer. And I found out that a lot of clients do not have financial literacy and they do not understand how the credit works and how to keep up with the credit and what to do and what not to do in order to get a good rate, a good price, and have a great deal on purchasing a vehicle. And since then, since 2020, COVID changed life, let's say that way. And I switched to mortgage industry. And now I am financing mortgages, homes for people, bringing happiness to people, financing their first homes or refinancing their homes for lower rate, like it was in 2021.
Wow, you picked an incredible time to join the real estate industry.
Yeah, yes, it was just perfect at that time. Yes, thank you.
Mhm. That's awesome. So we have 7 tips that people need to know before they go out and buy a mortgage or a car loan. What are those 7 tips that you have for us?
Tip number 1, as I said about financial literacy, it starts from a good credit score and a good credit history. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to keep up with the credit score. They don't know what is a good credit score and what's a bad credit score. Bad credit scores, the regular credit score starts from 350 as a bad credit score and goes to 850. Excellent credit score is from 800 to 850. A really good credit score is about from 720 to 800. That's what I would like to see all my clients, but unfortunately it's not so many people. Majority of people are struggling in about 600, 650s, and that's why I strongly recommend people to check their annual credit report. It's annualcreditreport.com for the accuracy on your credit report. Because as the statistic says right now, about 40% it's about 37% of people have inaccurate information on their credit reports.
That's huge. And
It's
so
huge.
the thing about it is there's like Credit Karma and all those other websites where you could check your credit, but the reality is they're not accurate. Is that correct?
Credit Karma or others are not accurate, but annualcreditreport.com, it's actually is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. After COVID-19, they're giving for free every week. Once a week, you can go and check on your accuracy on your credit report. Yes.
Once a week? Wow, I didn't realize it was
Once a week. Yep. Yeah, for free. You can do it. You do not need to pay Karma. You don't need to pay anybody. Just go there and check your credit report to make sure that all your credit cards and all your loans and everything, it is yours. And if you see anything inaccurate, just immediately call the credit bureaus and open the account with them of dispute or whatever, that they have to remove the inaccuracy right away.
Wow, that just paid for price of admissions just with that one pointer right there. Even though the show's free, but
Exactly.
That was awesome.
Yes.
So what's tip number 2?
Tip number 2 on the both industries, auto and mortgage, it's to get pre-approval before you even go shopping for a house or a car. Okay? Get a pre-approval, can be from your local bank or credit unions, or as a mortgage, I would recommend to call a broker like I am. And because as a broker, we have access to many different lenders.
Nice.
But get pre-approval first. That you know what can you afford, and right away you can know, like in the car industry is the financial institution tells you that if you purchase a newer car, maybe you can get a touch lower interest rate. If it's a older car, the interest rate is gonna be probably a half a point higher.
That's interesting.
Okay.
So what are some of the documents that are required in order to get the pre-approval? That way they could be prepared once they do try to go get pre-approval.
On the pre-approval, what it is, number 1, the financial institutions right away check your credit scores. Number 2, it's a proof of income. You have to bring, for example, last 2 paychecks. Okay? Or if people on 1099 that they don't receive paychecks, then can bring their bank statements, last 2 months of the bank statements, where it shows their deposits as a contractors, and it shows their income, that they can afford a vehicle or certain mortgage, how much they can pay per month.
That's awesome. Sounds pretty simple to get pre-approved.
It is very simple. Yes, it's usually I pre-approve people. I ask for the documents and everything in about 30-40 minutes, an hour. If they have all documents and everything, I can provide the pre-qualification letter in about an hour.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yes. Call anytime.
That's the advantage of watching the show. You already know what to bring to her.
Exactly.
Excellent. So what's pointer number 3 that you have for us?
Point number 3 on the auto business, I would recommend never ever buy a brand new vehicle. Okay, as you know, vehicle depreciates. And as soon as you sign the documents, that vehicle became from brand new to pre-owned and loses on average about 15% of the value. But if you are planning to keep that vehicle for 15-20 years or pass that vehicle to your kids, to your teenagers, as what I do, you can purchase brand new And then that's gonna pay off on the maintenance. You know that it's your car, you know how you maintain that car, and like that. But know that in the first 3 years the vehicle badly will depreciate, will fall in price. And if you decide in 2-3 years to go and trade it in and get another vehicle, be ready to be upside down. What upside down means? Upside down means that the vehicle worth less than you owe to the bank, which means be ready to write a cushy check for the difference on that. On the mortgage business, I would recommend to a little bit stay away from the buying from the builders, straight from the builders. Even right now, they give a huge incentives and everything, but in all that incentives, it's actually a lot of hidden fees and stuff that I would recommend still to purchase 2-3 year. It depends. People move all the time and find just a good home that was pre-owned.
Absolutely. So I heard, and I think we were discussing earlier, that if somebody buys a house that has incentives and then they move within the first year or two and it's written in a contract that you can't move, sometimes you have to pay back what you got on the incentives. Is that true?
That it is. That's why I usually, when I have a client and client comes with the, oh, I'm buying from a builder and everything, and I'm showing in the contract where that hidden fees, that's what I'm saying, because they are blowing you off of incentives, but later on that incentives are biting you.
And don't they roll that into the mortgage, so ultimately you're paying interest on the incentives too?
No, incentives that they are paying like for the closing costs and everything like that, but no, they are not rolling into this stuff. But it depends. It's some fees, on the VA loan is allowable, that fees to roll into the mortgage, yes, but all others are not.
Okay, good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think we're on
Mortgage
number
industry
4.
is very, very controlled, and not like
Yeah,
a order business.
because builders have a lot of different incentives. It could be paying for the blinds or paying for the appliances. It could be a rate buy down. It could be you could pay
Yes,
it towards your down payment. There's a lot of different types of incentives builders have.
correct. Yeah,
Nice.
that's what they do.
And what's tip number 4?
Tip number 4 is to have a good insurance on an auto and on the mortgage, plus on the auto side to have a gap insurance. And a lot of people do not understand what gap insurance is. If I can explain it very quickly. If you get in a car accident and, for example, you purchase a vehicle and the vehicle you still owe to the bank, for example, $15,000, insurance company is going to pay probably about $12,000 or $11,000 to the finance institution in order towards the vehicle, because you totaled the vehicle. And that gap of $3,000-$4,000 that it's left is the client is responsible to pay it off. And if you don't have gap insurance, if you have gap insurance, usually gap insurance cost when you purchasing a vehicle is about from $300 to $500. Gap insurance actually will cover that gap, and you're not gonna need to pay anything out of pocket, and your vehicle is going to be perfectly paid off, and you're free of debt of the vehicle that you don't have anymore, and you're good to go and purchase another vehicle.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard great stories about people that did have gap insurance. They were so grateful that they had it. And I've heard horror stories of people that didn't have gap insurance and they were paying for a car that they couldn't even drive. And that blows my mind that
And they are
they
actually very upset because there's like, Why do I need to pay for the vehicle if I don't even have the vehicle? And I'm explaining, you signed the contract for the money. Okay? The bank loaned you money. You decided to take that money and purchase the vehicle. That's what the contract is. Which means the contract is obligation to pay that money back. If you have that vehicle, you don't have that vehicle. The bank does not care anymore. But you still have to finish paying and be debt-free.
Yeah, the bank just wants their money, right?
A bank wants their money. A bank wants their interest. That's how they
make their money.
Make their business. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I tell people always, if you have some extra money, pay towards the principal balance. Because banks usually get their interest first before the principal is paid. Which means on the first payment, it's about 98% payment is about interest, and only 2% is going towards the principal balance.
Wow, that's crazy.
Then the payment number 5, let's say it's going to be 96% of the interest that you still owe, right? And only 4% goes towards the principal balance.
That's crazy. So you're referring to both car loans and mortgages, right?
Both. Any penny that you have extra, that's how I teach my teenagers, is do not spend money on the fast food, pay your principal balance.
I love that. And I love with mortgages too. Let's say you made maybe a $200 or $300 extra payment towards the principal. You could literally, if you have a 30-year fixed mortgage, you could pay it off way faster.
Way faster. But every time you're making the payment, you have to notify the bank that this amount specifically goes towards the principal balance. Because as I said, bank loves to earn money. And they take that $200-300 extra, but they put towards the next payment. Not towards the principal balance.
Wow.
Which means they're still putting towards their interest, towards their money, instead of the principal helping up the client. No.
That's crazy. So cool. These are great pointers. What is tip number 5?
Tip number 5 is work with a broker. It's on the mortgage side instead of the lender. Okay? Which means, what is the difference between broker and the lender? Lender, it's a bank. Like, for example, Chase Bank. Chase offers only specific programs on mortgages, only for people with, with a good credit score. They do not do like bank statement loans or non-qualified programs. They don't have it. Okay, and the client right away denied. Brokers, like I work for a broker. I am independent mortgage loan officer. We do have contracts about 30 different financial institutions and banks that if the person, we know a lot of programs, and if the person is not qualifying with one bank, we have other banks. I can see where that client can fit in which program, that I can approve him. Which means on the mortgage side, brokers is much better deal, much better programs. We equipped with much more programs than a regular Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Chase Bank.
So it sounds like you're kind of like a personal shopper.
It's like, yes, I know how to satisfy, how to approve a person, even if they have, for example, we just this week, got a new program that it's at 20% down and no income verification.
What? That's awesome.
Can Chase do it?
No.
Can Bank of America do it?
Not
No,
at all.
they're not going to do it. And if the client is going to come like that, they're going to be denied, right?
For sure. Yeah,
But
they want to prove their income.
yep, yep. But with us, we do have contract with financial institutions that, yes, interest rate is a little bit higher than a prime rate, but it's still, people are very happy because they are owning a home.
So I have a side question. So what if somebody has a HELOC on their primary residence? Can they take that HELOC as the 20% down payment on a investment property?
Yes and no. Okay. Officially saying, now that I'm on the open, is I would say no.
Okay, no, no, it's the official answer. I get it.
Yes, official answer, no. Because you are not allowed to borrow money to purchase real estate. You
Okay.
have to have money, that it's your money, that it's that 20%.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because it's practically the same as you are asking me, can you get cash out of the credit card and put towards the down payment?
Mm-hmm.
No, you cannot.
Okay. So good thing I asked, right?
Yes. No, it's a great question. Yes. No, you cannot borrow money to put as a down payment.
Cool.
You can ask your friend or your family for a gift, monetary gift that they can give you. And that can be your down payment. Yes.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Okay, cool. And what's tip number 6 that you have for us?
Tip number 6 is, we were talking about, now we are going to auto financing, about where the best way to get pre-approved or approved on the best interest rate to purchase a vehicle. And practically 100% on the pre-owned vehicle, I say that credit unions are the best to get low interest rate to auto purchase. And in some credit unions, it costs only $5 to $50 to open an account, be their member, and you can use all their benefits of the lower interest rate.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because shout out to EECU up in Fort Worth and Dallas. It's an educational credit union. My wife is a teacher, or she was a teacher. Okay. And so she was able to participate, and they gave us an amazing rate. So very grateful for credit unions. So that's a good pointer. So as a broker, obviously you're on the mortgage side now, but when you were in the car business, were you able to partner with some of these credit unions? Like how did that work from?
Yes, I had a list of credit unions, and I would just send the documents, the loans, and people directly there. It was a very easy closing. Very easy closing.
I bet you were excited to work with them.
It was. I'm telling you honestly, credit unions love credit unions. Love them.
Excellent. And last but not least, what's tip number 7?
And last and not least is always in the financials, okay, look for hidden fees. Specifically, hidden fees, I call it makeup fees, specifically on the auto industry. The dealerships are so creative to come up with all kind of fees that they're showing, like, oh, the price of the vehicle is so cheap, but when you check all other fees, I was like, started asking that, yeah, all the fees half of the time are not legal. Okay, they're not right even to be passed to the client. On the mortgage side, after 2008 collapse of the real estate industry and everything, we are very regulated Okay, and it's not so much going on the mortgage, but on the dealerships, I still, yeah, as a mortgage, every officer has to have a license, mortgage loan officer license, right?
Mhm.
It calls NMLS. On the dealership side, all officers, financial officers, they're still not licensed.
Mm.
They do not have knowledge. When I got my mortgage license, I was like, oh my gosh, if I would known it before, if my other loan officers would known it before.
Mhm.
But that's why I highly recommend, it probably will, that dealerships have to use, and if they will have loan officers to get the auto license, like auto finance license, because yeah, some stuff is going on that people just don't know, and they're making a big, huge mistakes in financing.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was helping one of my ex-girlfriends way before my wife Jessica, and she went shopping for a car, and she was looking for a specific sales price, and the salesperson, he's like, okay, we can make that happen, and he went and he just like kind of finagled some of the numbers, and I'm a numbers guy, so I look at the details. When he came back, the sales price looked lower, but the bottom line was exactly the same as before he left.
Exactly.
And I was
Exactly.
like, what fee is this? It says eco fee. What's an eco fee?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they have like crazy named fees.
Mhm.
Some packages that they are charging for and everything like that.
So you definitely have to be very careful and pay attention to all the details, as you're
You
saying.
have to be ready on the checking every number, making sure you do understand how much you are charged and why you are charged so much, and if it's everything legit.
Yeah. And sometimes it's overwhelming because you're just excited to purchase a car, and then all of a sudden you have to go through financing and all the numbers and the details. And sometimes it's overwhelming. So people don't really check the numbers like they're supposed to.
They are just happy to have a shiny car. They are happy to walk into the new home. It is
Absolutely.
stressful. It is very stressful to people. But if you know your stuff, if you know what you're looking for, and you're checking everything, it's much better. You will save money instead of have the shiny good car, but 3,000 or 4,000 additional fees that you don't even know where they came from.
Right. Yeah. When we purchased this home, it was a long, drawn out process. And then when we did the refi, we had to do it all over again. And my wife was like, I don't want to go through that again.
Yes, it
But
is very,
it's
yes.
definitely worth it because like our mortgage is way less than we were paying in rent for a 1 bedroom apartment.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah,
that's great.
it is crazy. So, well, any last thoughts for our viewers? How can they get a hold of you if they want to reach out to you and use you as their mortgage broker?
Anytime. My business cell phone number is 832-477-3170, or my email is lana@lanadowden.com. Very easy. And I'm more than happy to help out people, to explain them, and on the auto side, on the auto industry, or mortgages, or just simple some. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, but on some simple stuff, I always like to help people to make sure that they do understand and know the difference.
Excellent. Well, you've definitely been very helpful tonight. All those pointers that you given us are gems, and they'll definitely make the whole process of either buying a car or buying a house a lot simpler, especially if they apply the tips that you share with us. So we really do appreciate your valuable knowledge and wisdom that you share with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So if you got any value out of today, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube show at Finlit Live. We are almost at 500 subscribers, super excited, and we have a lot going on. So the purpose of the show, if you don't know, is we want to educate people on how money works, because if we don't know how money works, guess what? They have control. Let's take that control back. The difference between where you are and where you want to be financially is knowledge, but not just knowledge, but application of that knowledge. You have to apply the knowledge. And so that's what this show is for, is to educate you so you could go to your next financial spot and you could purchase that next house or purchase that next car and be happy because you know you did the right thing. Like, she gave a lot of great pointers as far as going to a credit union, make sure you pull your credit before and have a good credit score before you even apply for a mortgage or a car loan. That way you could get the best interest rates. So she dropped a lot of great gems. So with that, I just have one big announcement coming up on September 9th. So 9/9 at 9 a.m. So it's easy to remember, 9/9 at 9 a.m. I'm having your Boost Your Sales Skills workshop. So I've been in sales for over 20 years. I know I look super young, but I've been doing this for a long time. And so if you want to be able to close more deals, if you want to be able to communicate more effectively, if you want to improve your leadership skills and influence people better, join us at the Boost Your Sales Workshop on September 9th. It's going to be on the east side of Houston. Last year, we had a phenomenal turnout, and we had great testimonials that came out of that. One of the guys, he literally doubled his production after going through the Boost Your Sales Skill workshop. So check that out. If you want to know more details about that, go to my website, www.finlitlive.com, FINLITLIVE. You can get all the details about it. Food will be provided because it is an all-day workshop, and it's not going to be just me talking, but it's going to be interactive where you actually get to apply the knowledge immediately to your specific industry. So join us for the Boost Your Sales Skills workshop. So with that, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Share this with anybody that's looking to buy a car or house, and I appreciate you guys for getting lit.